Welcome back. It's Lori Taylor with the Produce Moms. And today I am joined by Dr. Max Teplitski. I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to pronounce that last name incorrectly, Dr. Max. Dr. Max is the Chief Science Officer at Produce Marketing Association, which is our global trade organization that really leads the industry at the worldwide scale on all things fresh fruits, vegetables, flowers, tree nuts, all the stakeholders. PMA is a very important organization for us all. He is a PhD, professor at the University of Florida. Go Gators. Probably the only time you'll hear me say that, Dr. Max. Author of over 100 peer-reviewed journals and book chapters. Prior to joining PMA, Dr. Max was the acting division director at USDA National Institute of Food and Agriculture. So in a nutshell, everyone, he's devoted his whole life to food safety. And he really knows what he's talking about, and he's here to set the record straight. Because at the Produce Moms, the number one thing that people are now asking us is, how am I supposed to wash my produce because of COVID-19?
I'm so excited to be here and to talk to you folks, who are our folks as well. The way we wash our produce is the same way we always recommended that be washed. First of all, your food safety starts at the grocery store. You always shop for produce first, and in your basket, you separate produce from raw meats and from household chemicals. You keep it separate in the shopping basket, and when you bring it home, you keep it separate from meats and household chemicals as well. And when you unpack it, put it in the fridge, or you keep it on the shelf for the shelf-stable produce like squash, bananas, and citrus. And then immediately before eating it, you wash it under running water. If the produce has a hard skin, you should brush it with a brush that is dedicated to produce. You can't just use your kitchen rag and wash your produce. And you should wash produce even if you plan to peel it, because that's important, and it is something that we've recommended all along. And then after you peel, and if you make a salad, then you should refrigerate it within 2 hours. I know this sounds like I'm repeating myself, but that's everyday food safety. We should have been doing that all along.
The recommendations here, the science has not changed because of the COVID-19 climate and disruption.
Absolutely not. You definitely should not be washing your produce in Clorox. Laundry bleach, even watered down, was not intended for human consumption. You should not be washing your produce in soap, especially dish soap can cause gastrointestinal problems. Definitely no to Lysol or wiping your apples with Lysol. That's a really bad idea, and it is definitely going to cause problems down the road. I have been talking to other experts, and I've asked them, well, some people want to do something that's extra because we all feel so powerless, right? I get two answers. Number one, knowledge is power. And what we know right now is that COVID-19 is not transmitted by food, it's not transmitted by food packaging. We should just maintain our everyday food safety habits. Also, people ask me, well, would you eat an apple if somebody spat on it? And my answer is 3 weeks ago, would you have eaten that apple? And the answer is no.
No. And really, to your point, again, we come back to the fact that you're always supposed to be rinsing your produce before you eat it. So let's go through the 4 steps that PMA and really scientists everywhere in all realms of food safety for all time, this has been the practice. And there's 4 steps: clean, rinse, separate, chill.
Exactly.
The game plan has not changed. This has been the common practice for a very long time.
Exactly. And if you want to be extra careful, commit to cleaning, rinsing, separating, and chilling throughout the entire shopping experience and throughout the enjoyment of your product. Also remember that you have to wipe surfaces in the kitchen.
Yeah.
If you have that Lysol spray, if you have that Lysol wipe, use them frequently in the kitchen to wipe the cooking surfaces, because that is the most likely route of cross-contamination, especially if you cook meats and then you're using the same surfaces to prepare fresh fruits and vegetables.
A tip we always promote at the Produce Moms, we want all of our followers to actually have separate cutting boards. Produce should always be on a separate cutting board. That's one reason why cutting boards are available in different colors, folks, is to help you at home maintain that food safety. Separate cutting boards for your fruits and vegetables. If you aren't in a position where you have extra set of knives for fruits and vegetables and for meats, make sure that you wash your knives or your utensils in between prepping those 2 different items. You never want that cross-contamination.
Exactly. And when we say rinse, remember that you rinse fresh produce, you never rinse raw meats. You don't rinse chicken. You never rinse turkey. And the reason we say don't rinse raw meats is because when we rinse them, we generate splash. And it's well known that raw meats have microbiota on them that is supposed to be killed during cooking. And if you rinse them, you splash all of these potential foodborne pathogens all over your kitchen, creating more problems. Don't rinse raw meats, but always rinse and thoroughly clean your fruits and vegetables, except for those that are already ready to eat. Bagged salads and your box salads, if they say ready to eat, they have have been triple washed
Right.
in commercial sanitizer solutions and then washed out. So those are ready for consumption without further treatment.
Thank you for going on record for that, because that's another huge area of confusion for everyone. We see people, oh, do I have to wash my bag salad? No, the point of that bag salad is it's ready to eat. One last thing, Dr. Max, I want to make sure that we call out the Joy of Fresh campaign. It's pretty exciting what PMA is doing. Explain a little bit to our viewers today what Joy of Fresh means and stands for.
The Joy of Fresh stands for consumption of fresh fruit, vegetables, and floral. A lot of us are spending a lot of time indoors. We don't have time to exercise, and unfortunately, we are within an easy reach of a kitchen cupboard. I know one of the things I have done is I purged my kitchen of all the chips, all the nuts, because at the moment of weakness, I will reach for the potato chips. Instead, I went to the grocery store and I made sure to stock up on romaine lettuce because it's crunchy, and I can use it with salsas, with dips, and that is just as satisfying and exciting, and also nutritious. Another important point is you see flowers in my background. That's because we can't spend time outside. We have to stay at home to flatten the curve, which is really important. Having fresh flowers is an opportunity to bring nature inside and just brighten my day and makes it a little bit more tolerable.
I agree with you. Nothing spreads joy like flowers.
And also, it's important to point out that as we stay home, as our nutritional habits are changing, there's plenty of evidence to show that a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables have nutrients in them that help boost immunity, that help to better our mood, that are just a part of daily healthy nutrition.
Last final closing thought, everyone. Dr. Max, the man knows what he's talking about. He's dedicated his life to this, both in academia and in his career. He just went on record and set it straight. Wash your fresh produce in cold running water.
With a clean brush, if the food has thick skins, and
Yep.
then after you clean it, make sure to keep it separate from raw meats and refrigerate if you're not consuming your vegetables within 2 hours.
Thank you so much for being our guest today. Thanks for going on record and educating people about what has to be the number one FAQ that we're receiving, as well as probably everyone else in the produce industry right now. Thank you for your time, Dr. Max. Thanks for all that you do. And remember, everyone, clean, rinse, separate, chill.
Thank you, Lori.
All right, go Gators.